Welcome everybody to Off the Cuff. I am Adam Banks, and this is our Road to the Final Four episode 2018. Welcome back in the studio, Conaster Zach Hahn, Chad Rainwater, and we do have a Final Four that is set. Loyola College, Michigan, Villanova, and Kansas is the teams that are in the Final Four, and we are here today to talk about what happened during the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight. So, right out of the gate, guys, how you doing? How's everything going?
Good. I'd rather Kentucky still be in the races right now. That was kind of a heartbreak going to Atlanta to see that, but
yeah, it sucks the life out of you when Kentucky loses the tournament. I know that we're all kind of bummed. I mean, for me, this was the toughest loss in the tournament that I have felt since 2015. Obviously, the Final Four year when we were almost perfect, but
yeah.
This hurt. Maybe even more. I don't know why. I think it was because the road paved to the Final Four was so easy. This one hurt.
And it hurts to get beat by a team that shoots 39% also. That was rough.
Yeah.
The entire game, it was a great game to be at and watch, but it was the heartbreak of that Quad A Green shooting that crazy three at the end was just ridiculous, and that was a heartbreaker to leave Atlanta like that.
Yeah.
But I did get to see a Loyola Chicago almost buzzer beater to win the game before that, so that kind of made it worth it.
Yeah, this time last week we were all excited because we knew what our path was. We just had to get past Kansas State, and we had a clear path to the Final Four. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what hurt the most is we knew we had it. We had it right at the tip of our fingers, and we just couldn't grab onto it. And I believe this loss to Kansas State was it is Cal's worst loss in the tournament.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it definitely is. It's definitely his worst tournament loss. He's had some bad losses before, but as far as tournament losses, this is pretty bad.
When you're saying worst, what do you mean? Like most painful or
as the worst team he's gotten beat by?
We are talking about just NCAA tournament, right?
Yes.
Because,
yeah.
Okay, I was about to say the NIT loss was pretty bad.
Kansas State was a bad team, though. It was a bad team.
They were okay. They were okay
team.
team.
They finished fourth in their conference.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're not like a bad
bad
team, but are they an Elite Eight team? No.
No.
For me, no. There's been a lot more losses that were more painful than this one. The one we lost to Indiana in the second round, that sucked.
No, I didn't say painful. I said this was his worst.
Well, that was worse too. I mean, Thomas Bryant had double.
That was a tough loss.
Yeah, but weren't we a 5 seed and they were 4, or was that the way around? We knew that we were going to win this game. We were supposed to win this game. This was our game to win. And we just whatever Kansas State wanted, they were getting. They had everything that you needed for an upset. They hit threes. We missed the free throws. They played good defense.
It was a frustrating loss the way we lost it. I'll give you that. But for me, I know I was supporting the team and I was glad that they kind of gelled over the last couple weeks. But I never really bought into the team. I just felt like the talents didn't align right. They didn't have shooters, for one thing.
You got to give Coach Weber, though, a little more credit than what people give him, the coach of Kansas State.
Yeah.
He actually is a decent coach. He's been to the Final Four before. He actually went to the championship game in 2005 when he was the head coach at Illinois. And he just did a really smart coaching move. He saw that P.J. Washington was a bad free throw shooter, so what did he keep doing?
Hack a P.J.
He kept hacking P.J. and having P.J. go to the free throw line and miss. And that, I give credit to P.J. for playing a good game. He hustled and he probably played better than anyone on the floor, but he just cannot make free throws.
He had 18 and 15, which that's something he said after the game, that he felt like he lost it for the team because he couldn't hit free throws. So I feel like that kid is going to work on his free throws. I feel like that's going to be the main thing he'll be working on this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Cal will put him on the free throw line or the treadmill one.
Yeah. Well, everybody said it and they beat it to death at this point, but we wouldn't have been in the game if it wasn't for him getting, 18, 15?
18 and 15. He looked good. I mean, he carried the team.
Jordan kind of already touched on the one moment that made me really shake my head, and that was the shot with 8 seconds left. I don't want to criticize a young guy. I don't know and I've never played in the NCAA tournament, but it was a real head-scratching shot.
It was awful selection.
Yeah, and that would have. I would think that has to go back on Cal. As unexperienced as our team is, why not call a timeout? We didn't run a thing. Just put it in shoot. Put it in the hands of Quad and just let him shoot. Why couldn't we call a timeout? Just set up a play. I mean, he did do that in the second chance we got towards the end of the game. But with 11 or 12 seconds. Mm-hmm. We just got the rebound, shot the ball. Like, Cal has to call a timeout, but he will not. Like, he won't call a timeout.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go.
Of the game.
I'm not going to get too hard on him because, like, you kind of have to, like, at a certain point, like, you got to think 3 or 4 seconds to go in the game. Kansas State up by 3, foul. What's the worst we're going to get? 2 free throws, and then they're going to get the ball back. So if they feel comfortable with their shooters, then they can keep it a 3-point game if they want. I mean, that makes it harder on us.
Do you think Kentucky is going to come back a more seasoned team, or are they going to lose everybody?
Oh, they're going to come back more seasoned team. I think we're going to lose probably 3 off this team, and then I don't think we're going to have any transfers. And I got some insight that we are supposed to be getting a 5th-year big man transfer in this year.
Really?
Name?
So I'm not sure of the name. I actually got an insight. It's insight from one of the ADs at Kentucky. So,
Peavy?
Yeah, I gotta keep it to myself, man. I can't share it too much.
Okay, well, I mean, heck,
because whenever KSR posts it, then I can be like, we had it first.
Yeah, he texted me the other day and said that he had some insight, but he was hoping that the podcast was going to be right then so he could break it to everybody, but
I mean,
it's still not come out. Yeah, so
yet,
technically it is still breaking news.
But he's supposed to be a 5th-year transfer.
I wish you could reveal the name. That would be huge.
I don't have the name.
That would be awesome.
I wish
Probably
I had
not heard of him anyway, but
so, but it's a seasoned player.
yeah, exactly. We need is he like a true center essentially? Is
yeah.
What you've heard? Well, that's what we need. To me, I don't know how it's going to shake out. I'm trying to do the math on this. They only got 13 scholarships, so everybody's talking about, I hope everybody comes back. Well, then who do you lose? Because I think it adds up to more than 13 if everybody comes back. But it's a good problem to have.
I mean, you lose Alexander for sure. Then you lose Knox. He's gone. He's as good as gone.
Everybody's baiting that he's staying. I think that's just radio bait, something for people to talk about during the off season. He's not coming back. There's no way he's coming back. He's a lottery pick. Why not go sign your couple $1 million deal, even if you end up in the D League, which you will in a couple of years. Still go to the NBA, sign your $3-4 million contract, and live happy for the rest.
Yeah, I mean, even if he's just like, I could come back next year in a weaker draft class. Like, that's not going to be the case. It's not going to be any weaker of a draft class next year. It's actually going to be stronger, in my opinion. So
yeah,
he's going to remain around the same pick number. He's a lottery pick. He's going to remain a lottery pick. So might as well just go ahead and go pro. But I mean, you never can tell because his parents have money.
Right.
He's not hurting for money.
You know what? It sucks when like a parent. And in this case, a parent comes out and is like, yeah, I don't know if my guy's going to go or not. Like, just tell us. Why don't they just tell us, yeah, he's probably going? Like, it gets our hopes up every single year. It's somebody every single year that does this.
Remain relevant to keep getting attention. That's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. Well, Kansas,
but they also let Big Blue Nation down when they decide to go pro.
Yeah, they do. I mean, we should know, though. We should know better. I mean, I love our fans, but we got to use just common sense. If you were that person... If you were that person having a chance to go to the NBA, make millions, you'd do it. But anyway, Kansas State, the terrible team that we got beat by, didn't last long because when they went to the Elite Eight, they had to play Loyola College because they knocked off Nevada. In the Kansas State-Loyola game, I thought Kansas State would beat Loyola, but I cannot say anything bad about Loyola College. I mean, they're on fire right now. It's magic.
It was, 3 buzzer beaters, and they just came out and destroyed K-State from the start to the finish.
Yeah.
They just play great team basketball. They've had, I think, they've won 4 games at this point. I think they've had 3, maybe 4 different leading scorers. They have 4 guys that average in double figures. They just play textbook basketball.
Yeah, or Sister Jean is putting a hex on all the other teams.
Remember in the first episode we had, we talked about, was it just a fluke? Was Sister Jean just a fluke? Now, after they've won 4 games and they're actually have a chance to go to the championship game, maybe she does have something to do with it. Not really, but I'm just saying.
Hey, would you see where Michigan
crazy.
Came out with Jalen Rose's grandma trying to act like she's going to be their Sister Jean? So
that's probably not going to get them good karma.
Yeah, I don't see. And I hope it doesn't. I hope Loyola goes to the championship game. I hope Loyola wins it all. So
yeah, this team reminds me of the recent Butler teams. We had Butler make a couple runs a few years ago, and then, like Zach said, they're just a good fundamental basketball team. They play great defense. They play smart, and
can we talk about the Loyola Michigan game already, or are you coming back to that?
We'll come back to it, but just keep what you want to say there. But we're going to know a lot about Loyola College. We're going to know a lot about Sister Jean because all week the Final Four teams get so much coverage. I mean, we're going to know what kind of toilet paper that Sister Jean uses because they're going to cover her so much.
I don't think I want to know that.
We're going to know a lot about Loyola College. But yeah, they've won the championship before. You guys knew that, 1963.
Mm-hmm.
So they're no stranger to the Final Four, but it's just been years since they've been there. But I think that if they lose in the Final Four, it's going to be one of those teams that's forgotten. Just like George Mason was, just like, I don't know, did WKU go to the Final Four?
10.
Or was that an Elite Eight appearance?
I can't remember.
See, even if they went to the Final Four,
What I get?
nobody
So,
remembers.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
You can't see anybody else. Travis got
Yeah, so anyway, what do we have going on over here to our left? We have a baseball draft going on here.
Chad-
Chad's
baseball draft.
psyched for fantasy
No.
baseball, but he's a little disappointed now because he got 7.
I got 7th pick.
Okay. Sorry that you got 7th pick. All right. So another Sweet 16 game that I want to talk about is Michigan and Texas A&M. This is Texas A&M. They knocked off UNC. They played their hearts out, but Michigan was just the better team that night.
Michigan rolled them.
How did you look so good
Hey, that's
against
second.
North Carolina and then look so bad against Michigan? I just don't understand because, in my opinion, I think North Carolina had one of the better teams in the nation this year.
Oh, yeah. I have to agree there. But Gonzaga, Florida State. Florida State knocked off Mark Few, Gonzaga. Mark Few just can never get there.
Florida State had probably one of the most athletic teams in the tournament. Gosh, everybody was just a monster for them.
Yeah, so pretty much Florida State, Michigan, obviously Michigan knocked them off, so we're now talking about the Michigan-Loyola Final Four here.
Oh, okay.
Piece.
So
Yeah, go ahead, give it. You got
all
the
right,
floor
good. I
there.
have to hold it long.
Yeah.
Then. I really like Loyola. I've been singing their praises as a team. They play fundamental basketball. It's very pretty to watch. But I don't think they have anybody that can stop Wagner or Wagner. Yeah, whatever. This is America. I don't think they have anybody that can stop him for Michigan. And I mean that's where Michigan. That's really what they base their whole game around, is having basically Dirk Nowitzki or Kristaps Porzingis light in Wagner. And I don't see Loyola being able to stop him. I think that the run comes to an end there, and I think it's probably going to be Michigan in the championship.
Yeah, I've got Michigan. It's my only Final Four team still left. I got them knocking off Loyola too. What do you think, Chad?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I think Loyola's magic runs out. I mean, I really wouldn't care if they'd win. It's not like.
Oh yeah, I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, exactly. I do have Michigan in my bracket though, just because they're a more experienced team. You know, like Zach said, they got Mo Wagner, Charles Matthews, who scored 17 points in the Elite Eight game.
Yeah, wouldn't have been nice to have him this year.
I believe we mentioned it, and he would have been great for our team. Maybe we would have beat Kansas State, but yeah, with John Beilein, I think that and he's been there before, so I think you have to say he has the advantage over Loyola. I expect to see Michigan in the championship game.
I do want to say something though, really quick about Florida State, Michigan. I skipped over. Did anybody get to watch the end of that game? I know, Zach, you watched it with me.
I don't know where you're going with this. You're going to the Leonard Hamilton interview, aren't you?
Well, not just the interview. The actual part of the game when he did give up. He was down 4 and had 7, 8, 9 seconds to go.
Seconds, yeah.
I mean, and he just gave up.
I forget the player for Michigan, but he was like a 90% free throw shooter, and he just hit 2, and he got the ball, and then Florida State just quit.
Chances are he would have made it, but you don't do that. You fight to the end, especially in the Elite Eight. And that's why Leonard will never go anywhere.
Did you watch the interview, though, with that lady? That was pretty...
Cringeworthy?
Yeah, to say the least, yeah.
Yeah, she confronted him about it.
It reminded me of, like, a wrestling promo.
He got mad about it, defensive.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, well, the whole world's talking about it, so this is what happened. And he was salty. He was just like, I wish the interview could have went better. I'm like, man, you can't do that. And I bet you the AD sat down on Monday morning and had a conversation with him.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, you can't do that. But yeah, so that's why Michigan won. But, so you got Loyola, Michigan, Final Four. We all pretty much say Michigan's going to win. You got Michigan over Loyola? No, okay. No. Sorry, I skipped over Jordan.
Magic is not leaving yet.
Okay.
Loyola's taking out Michigan, and they're going to the championship game.
You think so?
They're going to beat Michigan by 8 points.
By 8?
By 8 points.
Wow.
You know what 8 means in the Bible?
Nope.
It means new beginning. So that means that Loyola is the new beginning of college basketball. That means they're going to be a blue blood. If they go to the championship,
I can definitely see that happening.
maybe. Who knows? I mean, poser. Who knows? But on to the East bracket. We got Nova versus WVU. I'm telling you, Nova, I have not given them enough credit. They are far better than what I thought. Nova keeps on pushing through. They're so talented. West Virginia, Bob Huggins is another guy who I keep thinking's due, but he just can't get anywhere in the tournament. And I feel like that his expression on the outside just seems like he has no ambition. He just doesn't want to get anywhere. But Nova knocked WVU off.
Yeah, and it was a decent game, but the first half was a good game, but after like the first 5 minutes of the second half, Nova they couldn't miss, and it was game over at that point. And I'm with you. Nova's the one team that I did not give credit to. I actually had them going out in the second round, in the round of 32, but they are experienced. They're good defensively. They can hit from anywhere on the floor offensively, and like I said, they're just an older, experienced team, and they're going to be scary.
Nova. The first half against West Virginia was really the only time that they've even been tested that much in this tournament. They've kind of just flown. They've continued to fly under the radar because they've just been winning so decisively. Mm-hmm. Kansas will probably give them a better game, but I don't see them beating them. It could happen, but Nova looks like a lock to go.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, from the beginning of the tournament, I thought that Villanova was the favorite to win it all, and I still believe that's the case. Like we said a while back, they're just so experienced. They can hit threes and play good defense, and we can actually say that they're a legit team. I mean, a few years ago, you could say, oh, Villanova's the number 1 seed. They're going to be the first team to go out. But right now, in the past 3 years, they've been a top 2 or 3 program in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they've won in the past 4 years. They've won more games than any other college program in a 4-year span ever.
Yeah, that says a lot about their coach, Jay Wright. It says a lot about him, and I like him. He's just somebody who you can like. He's a likable guy. You can get behind him. Nova had to play Texas Tech in the Elite Eight because they knocked off Purdue. This was Texas Tech's first appearance ever in the Elite Eight, and Texas Tech, they've had a variety of coaches in the past. I mean, coaches that could have got them there before. Tubby Smith, Billy Gillespie. No, I'm kidding. He was coach there, but there's no way he could have got him there. But
and Bobby Knight. Don't forget about
Bobby Knight.
And Bobby Knight's son.
I was going to say Bob Knight and then Bob Knight's son. But they never had been to the Elite Eight, so they had their opportunity, but it was just unfortunate, and it came to a quick stop because they had to play a powerhouse like Nova.
Well, I think it's good for Texas Tech, and that you mentioned all the coaches that were famous because of their name or because of something that they did somewhere else. I didn't catch that one, and I still couldn't tell you who Texas Tech's coach was, but maybe that's good for them, that they're kind of building their own identity and stop trying to hire people that were famous other places. So maybe they can actually build on this and create a legacy of their own.
Well, so Nova, the third team there into the Final Four. So down to the Midwest, we watched in the Sweet 16. We watched Kansas and Clemson. Kansas just dominated the whole way through, and I thought Clemson was going to give a better game than what they did. I mean, they fought as hard as they could, but coming up a powerhouse like Kansas and Bill Self, it's hard to do.
Kansas just all game just ate them alive, and then I actually quit watching it, and I kept watching at the top of the screen because I was watching. I can't remember what other game was on, but I was watching. I guess it was a Syracuse-Duke game, but Clemson ended up coming back within 4 or 5. But I mean, ultimately, it was just kind of a late run that wasn't going to amount to anything.
Yeah, like you said. You look at the score of the 4-point game, but most of the second half, it was 10, 15 points. Mm-hmm. I actually didn't watch any of this game until the end. I was checking my phone for updates, and Clemson was down 20. And I thought, like Banks said, I thought they were going to play better than what they did. Ended up pulling within 4, but, I didn't watch any of that game.
Battle of the coaches, Syracuse and Duke. I was cheering for Q so hard, and Jim Boeheim and Mike Krzyzewski. It's always great to watch 2 legendary coaches go at it like that. Even though poor old Jim Boeheim, man, he's 76, 77.
God, he looks old.
Looks a
lot older than that.
He's old. He's old, and Coach K, I mean, he's 72, but why does he not age? I don't understand that.
He's looked the exact same for the past 25 years.
I was watching that Christian Laettner 30 for 30 the other day, and Coach K looks exactly like he did in 1992 as he does in 2018. It's weird. He's the devil reincarnated or something. I mean, he is a Blue Devil.
It's possible. I think it's very possible.
But so we got to see, after Syracuse and Duke, we got to watch Kansas Duke, which was an excellent, probably the best match of the Elite Eight.
That's, in my opinion, that was the best game of the tournament.
It was awesome, and I watched that all the way through. Everybody thought Duke was going to win, including me.
And
so
me.
It was just so nice to watch Coach K's expression and Grayson Allen, go out for the final time, done and done.
I don't know why everybody says they're acting like they're never going to see Grayson. I mean, he's going to be like J.J. Redick in the NBA.
No, he's not.
Maybe
Grayson
not
Allen's not going to make anything for himself in the NBA.
No.
He's a projected first-round pick. He's going to have an NBA career.
I think he's going to have a nice little 2-3 year G League career, but Grayson Allen he's not going to be able to do anything in the NBA.
Dude, Grayson Allen's going to be awesome, man.
I mean, you stick with that. I think Grayson Allen's going to be just as good as that shot he had to beat Kansas at the end of the game. But
I'm just getting under your skin. I don't think he's going to be that good.
Where's
he's
the
going to be in the NBA?
Where's the best place for him in the NBA? For Grayson Allen,
as a 3, I guess.
No. I'm saying what team?
Some teams like 12th man. I think he would be a good, sit on the bench and stick his foot out every now and then.
Maybe like a
Decker.
Yeah, like a
Sam Decker.
I was gonna say maybe San Antonio coming off as his.
Yeah,
San
Antonio could work with. Popovich makes anybody. Yeah. I could go play for the Spurs and get 10 and 6.
I love Bill Self, man. Disclaimer. I do love Bill Self. He doesn't give up. He coaches to the very last minute. And I was watching that old 2008 championship game with him and Cal, Memphis and Kansas. And any pure college basketball fan would have been like, oh, it's over. Cal's up 9 with a minute to go. Bill Self won because he did not give up. Just like with Duke, he went down the score flexed back and forth.
Yeah, that Malik Newman's really good.
He don't give up.
Malik Newman, from his freshman year at Mississippi State, and then he had the year off. He looks incredible right now. Other than when Kentucky played Kansas earlier in the year, I hadn't watched Kansas play much this year, but I've seen them in their conference championship and then in the NCAA tournament. Malik Newman is a difference changer for that team. He's big time. And he scored all 13 points in overtime.
Yeah, but Bill Self, I mean, he is maybe the best late game, close game coach.
Yeah.
They just keep executing like they did on a possession with 13 minutes left in the half. It's really they don't get rattled. Which
is going to make the Nova Kansas game maybe the best team or the best game of the tournament.
See, and I think Kansas is going to overdo it because I think Kansas, out of the Final Four teams, nobody has the size to face Kansas.
So you got Kansas over Nova.
I think Kansas is on the clear path to win it all right now.
Who do you have, Kansas and Nova?
Probably go Nova, but I definitely think Kansas would give Villanova the best game out of any of the 4 teams in the final, or the other 3 teams in the Final Four. I think that's the real national championship. I got Nova, but it might be another close one. It might eclipse it. That could be a double overtime game.
Yeah, Chad, who do you have, Nova?
I'm sticking with my guns and going with Nova. I think it'll be a great game. Probably one of the best games we've seen. I don't know if it'll top the Duke and Kansas game, but I think this Final Four game is going to be one of the best games in the whole tournament.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Nova because I went against Nova the whole time. They proved me wrong, but I'm going Nova. I mean, Kansas is good. Bill Self is good, and they were good enough to get to that point, but Nova's going to knock them off, which means we're going to have
in your all's 3 opinions.
In 3 opinions, we have Michigan and Nova, but you think Loyola and Nova.
It's going to be a Loyola Kansas.
No, Loyola Kansas. You're totally opposite. So
can I say something before we move on?
Yeah, go right
I think this right here, the Villanova and Kansas game, this is your championship game right here. It'll be a better game than the championship between Nova and Michigan or Nova and Loyola, whoever. This is a championship game right here. Just like last year when we played North Carolina in the Elite Eight. It's going to be a game like that. I mean, you could say that was the better game than the championship game, and that's what this right here is going to be like too.
So Final Four: Loyola, Michigan, Nova, Kansas. We all 3. Jordan. Let's see. Jordan has Kansas win it all. Myself, Zach, and Chad has
Nova. Yeah,
Nova. Okay, everybody's got Nova. All right.
You got Kansas beating Loyola. You don't want to pick Sister Jean and the Ramblers over the Jayhawks?
Oh, I would love to see Sister Jean and the Ramblers take it home. I would. I might have to buy some Loyola gear.
They might actually stay good after they were able to win the championship.
I'm going to buy me one of those hideous gold and maroon scarves.
Yeah.
Everybody was wearing them in Atlanta, man. They had a lot of fans there, and everybody was wearing the
I'm
scarves.
sure they were all lifelong Loyola fans.
Posier will leave. If they win the championship, he'll leave.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, he's proven himself right now, but some of the teams, man, they lost to throughout the season were just, to see them here is crazy.
Maybe he should go to Xavier because that job is now available because Chris Mack was named the new head coach of the University of Louisville. Did you guys see the news today? Mm-hmm. Hey, Louisville's a top 7 basketball program. I think that it's a great landing spot for any coach. It's an elite job. They got one of the best fan bases in all of college basketball. They've got the rich history. They got the facilities. They've got it all. So Chris Mack, I think that with what he has at Louisville, and he is a great coach. His record speaks for itself. He's like 230-60 overall record. Mm-hmm. He's great. I think that he can go to the Final Four. I think it's a slam dunk hire for Louisville. And I think he's straight edge, clean cut.
They had to do what they had to do, though, because they had to give him a 6-year guaranteed contract.
Was it 6 or 7?
I think he got 7 years, but 6 are guaranteed.
Hey.
So,
yeah, I think it was, actually. But I do think that... sorry for that little brief interruption
Come on, man. We never get callers on this show.
Sorry about that. I feel like somebody just saw us live when there's like, let's see if I can just call in. Just put it on airplane mode there. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, what was I talking about?
Chris Mack,
I do think it was a slam dunk hire. They paid him around $4 million a year.
Yeah, he's right at like $4 million a year. So
$24 million guaranteed, something like that. If it's a 6-year,
yeah.
So I mean, it's not like they couldn't fire him, but they'll have to give him probably at least 3 or 4 years.
I mean, like you said, I think it's a slam dunk hire. I think he's a good recruiter. He's a good basketball coach, and with the program and everything behind it, like he might catch some stuff to fall down. A postseason ban or something like that.
I think if they were going to do that, they'd already done it.
It's NCAA we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
They're liable to do it in like 3 years.
Well, assuming that doesn't happen, I mean, Louisville has a pretty good team already, really. If he could combine that with some top recruits right away, they could be good immediately.
I don't see him getting top recruits, but I see him getting some pretty solid recruits into Louisville. So, I don't think he's going to be a Patino by any means right off the bat, but
he's got everything that he needs to do well there, and he is the good enough coach to do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our Final Four is set. We discussed it, but we will be back to talk about what actually happened as all those teams go to San Antonio to play these games out. But do you guys have anything to add before we call it a night here on Off the Cuff?
It's been another enjoyable March. Adam, I appreciate you having me.
Oh, no problem. We are not done yet because we will be back next week to talk about the post-championship show. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. I'm Adam Banks. This has been Zach Hahn, Jordan Conaster, and Chad Rainwater with me. Thank you, Facebook Live, for watching as always, and we'll see you on the next episode.